obaya the Chief Justice obaya on resign in this process, on resign. Ewo de mebredo. Yebisa, is it applicable that Obotumwa resign whilst prima facie case has been established against her? And they were suspending her. Or we there. What to turn in some and now we'll boning some. So Odibana, then virtually she will go. So on Yensua, she will take over again as the Chief Justice. But then the suggestion there within this period, Obaya Enka Nankasano on resign, is it applicable? The main seminar no yabokwa homado na enyi impemfu binum ekekezi inkomo Professor Vincent Asamfo from Oye University of Cape Coast yenyi bekekezi inkomo and other matters on these issues. On Interiabri, you a packed program and then the conversation is hot. I mean, until for messages, for Brana Yanti Wonso Wonka Ewo Eho. Jumezi Ahru Bebrenso Norokodo and they do need the trim Ewo Tamale Teaching Hospital. Any da Oyaza the Health Minister Okroho unannounced visit. Now Okopemo ono based on Insembia Okodo one or there Oya the Chief Executive or the hospital no was sacked immediately. Was sacked now ono and then the doctors at Tamale Teaching Hospital and also they are in crunch meeting. The maso and after the management of Tamale Teaching Hospital, they are also in crunch meeting. Even the doctors that work in the Anshin was the one in the Bugu Fuma 1 year based on system failure. And you may be or touch more. They are not getting response from government. Nina kan in the Ebe Budruha. But what do you think about the move of the health minister, the unannounced visit to various health facilities? But then the information beyond the Chief Justice, and she has been served with 2 new petitions. Another petition 2 was the Ako Elho. And so obesity. In fact, and some no odon see pa on into Kayanwe. Na yinzi in Commodamation Ghana Medical Association will condemn the dismissal of Tamale Teaching Hospital CEO, demand apology from the health minister. But across the country, our various health facilities, there was system or systematic failure. And you may be aware on Kodie, and then the health facility cannot do anything about it. Does that warrant the dismissal of CEO of Tamale Teaching Hospital? What is the government also doing? Or the teaching hospital, they failed to inform the government about the situation of the hospital? Or is it about the negligence of the hospital? Gold Board begins licensing of gold trading services providers in Ghana. Recently, the Gold Board, or the Insemi Tuga, that in one and then they or the authority to license gold trading agencies or gold trading companies. And so without Gold Board, you can't trade gold in Ghana. And they have started issuing licenses to these agencies or companies. Oniti on Chebia Yabokwa Humano do na ekezi in Komo Eho Yenye Professor Vincent Asamfo of University of Cape Coast. Beko ekozi in Komo Bade Yabri. Ma mumbo wafunu ewo promotion bia orebado. Ni nyina no ye Hisense 2025 refrigerator promo. Obesha say on the 28th of this month and the 28th of this month and a promo no besha say on the 8th of May. on intimate free all brands of refrigerators approved by the new high energy efficiency standard. Ni nyina no ebenya bi double door, single door, side by side door, cross door designs. Ni nyina no high sense ebenya bi ewo ho. Enti across the 16 regions ekon one showroom a ebenya this fridges bi. Manka sim oben Blue Hills restaurant or Anteko Damaso eno onye Pacific filling station wonye nizi nhwenyim ewo for high sense ewo Ahmedu 0302550000. High sense everyday prices for everyday people. Damaso ena Anointed Engineering Services Limited. Anointed se menkan chode nansen kanyen wo dundum nkakankra owa na we dum enoko owa na we dum ena waba. But Anointed Engineering Service se menkan chode what your sales of oil generators, what your installation, what rent oil these generators, the machine ibia say a fabra or be repair was the armor. On into nature can Cape Coast, Tantry, opposite the main lorry station, and also the near Republic Bank, Urban Republic Bank, Tantry, on into Ekowa, Ebongu, oil Anointed Engineering Services Limited. Now also say generator bi enepe wa say a current ana ni nyina bi a installation of generators a ni nyina fo nyi fetrim e Anointed Engineering Services Limited na one be informal from 0248 455697 and 0243 480334 na enye Anointed Engineering in kezi in common but then yanko manodo na inkezi inkomo straight na yambra na memo kwan na wonso bremibi menye Professor Vincent Asanfo from University of Cape Coast ikezi inkomo on the suspension of Chief Justice. Prof, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Prof, meji de you abri bibia aboko.
Yankopa dom ye ho ye.
Ya de yankopa ase. Na UCC bibia record kama ho.
Oh, I have a graduation baby akodo. Yankopa do baby akodo.
Okay. Yeah, that nyame ase. Prof, me there that means me with regards to the petition against Chief Justice and then the subsequent suspension abano yes nkomo ha na follow. What do you make of this new event what pop up with regards to the suspension and the president Odiama, the Chief Justice?
Yo me da se me chia igwefo na hon etiepo now. I'm the ehun the wakodo na of course onya ade a we sidante no oye nipa pi one there yes Fort Republic according to 7 January 1993. And then the first time the Madden we see the only time in the history of Ghana Chief Justice we are told in 1963 or thereabout Kwame Nkrumah yi akokosa as the Chief Justice. Only the means CBO. Like Abraham say charted waters adia only Dana only see ono ye wan wakakra but say yes constitution numa article 146 no you very clear on so who bado de yi atemboafo panyina Chief Justice a kwana omano oida ofado se obi feel the Chief Justice why idea said the unfata utsiambra obu mbrane nimtia mbrane said another constitution is the onchro kraten kom omampen is in kraten na on a Council of State wonko zo wonkomo na se Council of State shede in seminar ye nimpa na tro no said the nyansa wo ota suma won fa futin fa mo mampen constitution in such that they say mampen ja futu na say opa the constitution and tro there or yeah also the president may In other words, opa about my catcher Chief Justice in the on the on Sinan Chanaka Krana one who can ask him no more. Now, or them intent I capture the fact that Omampena catcher Chief Justice on Sinan Chana one who can ask him on the Chief Justice no Odifo war Kuda what that bono. It is just procedural. Yadefa mbra kwando is there. So what somebody to go them Chief Justice or Mampini Pobot Makacho de Tinanchen or Power Becker de Tinanchen. In this case, Mampin has chosen the route that Tinanchen, probably the advice from the Council of State and the legal advice from Attorney General and his personal legal counsel, Madam Marietta Bruno, probably there was the need there. Chief Justice Betnanchena, 5-member committee now. What more? There was also the one on the debate. What the bano say? What him na? Sebe in seminar nimpi basa. What that kono? We feel there. Sebe nyanse nima. Wobeka chro mampenyin asem na wo yehwehwe no nyanse bela nim tino asem fa na asem ko once wo hwehwe na say wo feel the Chief Justice one year what the recommendations baba what recommendations on mampenyin is bound by the recommendation to implement. I think so far no I think that nothing shows there or Mampin, no be a wibumbrado. Those membrane can honor idea or do that all yema semno wakotrin baby. But let me make it clear that Chief Justice Tukuno is not guilty of any offense now. These are just charges against her. I'm sure she will have the opportunity to orally meet the committee and defend herself. Already, what you now did that come on Mampina. And then me who those are not dealing with social media. I don't know who leaked it, the petition and then the response from the Chief Justice. But obeying the opportunity to meet the 5-member committee. Now, what about the outcome? We await that.
But this process, I mean, the first of its kind in the Fourth Republic, per readings and then per insembiated, I mean, former heads of state, they had challenge with the activity of the judiciary, the head of the judiciary, Chief Justice, what come on, but they never touched the Chief Justice. In this instance, what does it present Ghana to the international body?
Well, me new record of from President Rawlings to President Akufo-Addo, Chief Justice Kekana Jirinchiro Mampenyin obituary petition on Mampenyin from President Rawlings Akufo-Addo, what act on it? That will have been. I mean, just last year, yeah, even early this year, Bona, Mampenyin Akufo-Addo, Mampenyin Akufo-Addo, all the now did in the case of Professor Kuku Asare, ne petition to remove
Chief Justice
Tokonu.
Yes.
Chief Justice Tokonu. And I know that in the history, some petitions have been sent. Some were sent against Justice Tudor Wood.
Mm-hmm.
It was found to be unmeritorious. The same Eni Yeboah found to be unmeritorious. Gertrude Tokonuya was also found to be unmeritorious. Where presidents have been petitioned, on the advice of the Council of State, they take their decision. The Uncle Benkumando, Uncle Enifa. And it is not the case that every this is the first time we are hearing of of a petition against the Chief Justice. No, Ibiabada,
Mm-hmm.
on the advice of the Council of State, the President of the day took a decision. And it is also not the first time Article 146 has been invoked, or other articles have been invoked to deal with constitutional independent bodies. The first person to suffer this fate under this republic was Vivian Loretta. What was her name? The former Shraj boss.
Mm-hmm.
Another and one other person did petition the Koma on Mampein Mahama. The Mamena idea on Semfata Obumbra. All the Assembly Committee Chief Justice then, or if you also in some branch and Kano, I said the other assume, or setting up committee, they went into the matter. The recommendation was that Mamene should be relieved of duties. Or Mampein carried it out. The same thing happened to the EC. There were petitions against the EC and the two of the deputies, Omampain Akufado referred to the Chief Justice then. Also, or established prima facie. Committee was established. They went through the full gamut of the process. The recommendation was that 1 in Alawatum brand to 1 court. Omampain Akufado had no choice than to carry out. So it's just the constitutional process now, Orokodo. And for me, like I said earlier on, it doesn't mean that Nimpana is guilty. Or go through the process not to defend the one. The committee will come up. These are people of reasoned mind. The committee will come up with their recommendations, and then we'll know the way forward.
Now, former president of the Ghana Bar Association, Ora Samuel Okudzeto, news is about him that the suspension of Chief Justice sent the wrong signal to the world and could have dire consequences for Ghana's reputation and economy. What is your view on this?
Well, I disagree with the old man. Menjin did say obi feel the Chief Justice from Umbra. Na say Omane de no Mbra Kwanda. Obi Amansan Bekado Abadentina Ghana what one Chief Justice do. I don't think so. Say na yeda sorry Obi Yankebi and Shim no Mampayine issue letter. The Chief Justice has been dismissed. Then that will have been a constitutional crisis because you will have gone against the Constitution. That was what you were using what they criticized the Kwame Nkrumah. The Kwame Nkrumah and Mbra Kwando or the Sake Akukosa as the Chief Justice then. And say, so now, Omampei Mahama, why the same thing now? Then what the old man, Mr. Okudzeto, is saying, will have made, for me personally, will have made some good reasoning. But in this case, a petition has been made. In the case of Professor Kuku Asare, he, Mr. Okudzeto, came out to tell the whole world that he, as a member of the Council of State, wrote the reasoning to dismiss the petition to the president. And if he thinks, and I'm sure he didn't criticize that procedure. It went through the same procedure. Go through it. It went through the same procedure. And I don't think that because it is a different government other than government he served under until not today. If the world was going to be angry, I'm sure by this time, United Nations, UNHCR, other human rights bodies will have started raising issues. They have their representatives in Ghana. Because by this time, the American embassy will have said something. In fact, of all the associations, I'm just hoping to hear their voice Unfortunately, their voice is muted for now. The Ghana Bar Association. They are the ones that I want to hear them, and for now they are quiet. Could it be that the Orokodono will feel there or Namembra Kwando, they don't see why they should make noise about it? And yes, the old man may have his point, but I think that I disagree with him. The world cannot be angry with Ghana because Ghana is going through a legitimate constitutional process to remove a chief justice. I mean, we have removed the head of the electoral commission, the person whose decision can make and unbreak this nation. She was removed with two deputies. The world moved on. Ghana moved on. So, I mean, I'm not saying that the chief justice is going to be removed. But in the event, if push comes to shove and then the committee says that, oh, Doye and Onyentino, or I don't think that Ghana will collapse because Chief Justice Tokono has been asked to go away. I don't think so.
But this action, is it an attack on the judiciary with regards to the independency? Is it an attack on the judiciary?
No, but after the Anas expose, some judges were dismissed from the judiciary.
Yes.
I mean, I was just looking at some story about 2 or 3 years ago. President Akufo-Addo, on the advice of the Judicial Council, after some inquiries, dismissed 4 judges from the High Court. So when it comes to cleaning up the judiciary, as long as due process has been, it will have been an attack on the judiciary if, yes, they are surrendered, not crate no obeno, on your suspension or your outright dismissal. That will have been unconstitutional. That will have been an attack on the judiciary. And I'm sure by this time, Ghana Bar Association will have issued a statement. Even the Judges and Magistrates Association, they will have even issued a statement. And so basically, your attack on the judiciary, not for there. Chief Justice or you'll be on above the law. And say, Obi through there, why you did your fata on you there, or man, you didn't second. And I don't think that the Chief Justice herself believes that she's above the law. So your idea of food or above the law, Momobi and Pansankana, Chinanka, on country man paying there. And one of what Bomuku do for Bremna mention, I mean, Yimano. Now go back to one for once and one through one, I'm not will be able to finance and come. In ye now, yes, embrace. And say, Obi through the Chief Justice took on why you are there on some fata Obumbra, not or looking on my pain, na swa coho, na what to one amona, Menjine there. Or your attack on the judiciary, or your attack so by this time, on my issue instruction, pam Supreme Court judges in this is a complete attack on the judiciary. But in this case, he is going through the constitutional process. Obian Tumkede Wafum. Those who disagree with the president, Obian Tumkede Wafum, Article 146, them no can. And there, on Article 146, Obobra, until you have acted unconstitutionally. I'm hearing issue about there should have been some guidelines. Guidelines have been also there. I'm not sure that in the case of looking at the petition against Justice Tokonu, Professor Ofenenden, Koku Asar Olokweno, there was any guidelines via Ansana on Mampain Akufo-Addo according to the merit or otherwise of the case. And apart from some few people who are against it, especially from the NPP side, who are talking, I haven't heard neutral voices like Ghana Bar Association, other professional bodies criticizing the process. Because it's a process now. the process has followed what a constitution prescribed. And as long as the process is constitutional, it will be difficult for anybody to say it is an attack on the judiciary, as far as I'm concerned. Of course, the person is entitled to that opinion, though, but I respectfully disagree with that opinion.
The reasons are even more academy there. In fact, during the campaign period, the current president, on several occasions, urban judicial matters are making it clear that the court or the bar will be cleaned. And the party communicators, the NDC party communicators, when they were advocating or speaking to that fact that one or two judgments be free day, one kodu and one or two judgments be the panel of judges be free day or in panel so-called NPP judges or justices into free that the court has been politicized, then it has to be cleaned and it has to start from the Chief Justice. Do you agree with them?
Well, to some extent, they may have a point. Yes, the president then campaigning, I think there was a conference of NDC lawyers.
Yes. Now,
or addressing the conference, and he expresses his frustration that through the certain rulings by the court smacks of political interference, and there's a need, in his opinion, then to deal with the situations like that, and said the president could have gone ahead to also ensure the Supreme Court. You need ceiling as to the number of people that will go to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And so the president can also appoint 20 judges to the Supreme Court straight away, especially with his super majority or any party or parliament, or nominate 20 people to the Supreme Court. The super majority will vet and pass all of them, and he will swear all of them in. So that could have been a way. But in this case, we are talking about a constitutional process that has been triggered. Unless there's evidence to prove that those people now, of course, petitioning key. We are beginning to see some identity of the petitioners. The three petitions, this police officer, ACP, Akogo, or petition, unless there's evidence to prove that if you are paying or time, you don't hear the madam.
Okay.
But beyond that, it will be difficult to say that if a private citizen feels the Chief Justice has done something wrong, now he's drawing the attention of the president to take action now. I don't think that will be seen to be carrying out a threat to cleanse the judiciary. I mean, how was he going to cleanse the judiciary? The only thing you can do is to unconstitutionally dismiss judges. I mean, that will have been unconstitutional. And he might have made that comment in the address to the lawyers, expressing a frustration on some of the rulings. And if you look at the posture of the Supreme Court and some political cases, it creates impression that they were somehow biased. For example, Parliament per se, when the majority left walkout, voted to reject the budget. You remember that case?
Yeah.
It went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court gave a ruling. Now, it has to do with the speaker, the deputy speaker, sitting and voting. Parliament voted to also even reject the e-levy. That was reversed by majority then. The minority then under Haruna Idrisu and Okujoto, and then the current majority leader, Ayariga, filed a suit at the Supreme Court against the e-levy passage. As we speak, e-levy has been repealed. That case was never called. And so the president then was expressing sentiment in regards to such actions of the court, that how is it that one party bar you run with alacrity, another party bar it is like you don't care. It becomes a problem. So he was expressing that frustration, but I don't think that it was a frustration that has resulted in this, unless there's evidence to prove that he is behind the petitioners. I would disagree with that school of thought.
Now, is it about time that constitutionally on that aspect, the appointment of Oye, the Chief Justice, and then other key personalities into certain AE being done by the president need to be touched?
Oh yeah, I think these issues like this, but it gives us the opportunity to reflect, the constitution, you know, maybe what my the 2 p.m. or in terms of even appointment. Fortunately, there's a constitutional review process ongoing. Professor Prempe is chairing that committee. I just read in that he commenting on the current issues. They can take it into consideration and look at that aspect of the appointment of the Chief Justice and then the Superior Court judges. That's a committee in feel that there's a need to review and to create an independent constitutional body that will deal with it. The question will be the main body is who will appoint that body. So because at the end of the day, somebody must appoint a constitutional independent body, just like the EC, like the SRAJ, like the Supreme Court. These are independent constitutional bodies, but somebody has to appoint. Even if we have a committee, that committee, who will appoint members of that committee? So for me, it is not just easy by you're an independent, unless if you are the Public Service Commission, Chief Justice position, I have candidate, judge, another lawyer of certain number of years at the bar. Now, if the Chief Justice apply, now Public Service Commission will interview and shortlist the number. Now, what the one of my parliament is a better one that will have to that bar. The question would be, who would even appoint members of the Public Service Commission? So, honestly, your campaign appoint one now. It will come back to the same question. No, I'm campaign for Public Service Commission so that you will be able to manipulate. So, some of these things, meanwhile, we just have to have the state in public independent institutions and say, a judge inside. Or campaign be a power there, be a Supreme Court judge, be a High Court judge, be a Court of Appeal judge, be a Chief Justice. The moment you swear the oath of office, oath of allegiance, oath of secrecy, I swear the 3 oaths or you are a member of an independent body. It doesn't matter whether you are a friend to the president or to the executive or the speaker. Assemble winima or it actually need the assembly those more or factor and also. So, but when you have a situation, if you do or paying no to do no or partner as Chief Justice, and it's an assembly that the minima or there may any catasumu then of course one person is creating problem for yourself. You must be a professional and be independent in your thought. It will be a demand. Obiala ni nyao hasaminka. Or manpayin na assemble to winima. Or wait before. Or the bima way the bim. Or before for na assemble to winima. The same thing. The mobiala ni nyao hasaminka. But if you are the type abano or power no manpayin or power no say ne ho party assemble to winima. It will take forever. opposition not able to win more. In 10 minutes, I deal with it, and then obviously that will create a problem, credibility problem for our Ankasa. So individuals who are appointed to independent constitutional bodies must act as independent. What more the man? The means MP omba.
Prof, I mean, Mr. Wayne, in your mind, you know, how did we get here?
Well, we got here because of mistrust. We got here because people feel there. Ibinuma omanpeyin apa hono. Osande omanpeyin dada on apa hono. In terms of justice delivery, they are well done. No. And I'm say a Supreme Court judge swearing to the fidelity of your oath that I will. It is not for nothing that the symbol of the judiciary, no, the woman is blindfolded. What the tema teacher then you are. Opada trade on no. Eyane mama ne bejina n'animo. Eyane papo. Eyane kunu. Eyane yiro. Eyane asuo. Eyane dobo. Eyane tanfo. Obetru to be the same. If the judiciary had acted in this manner, in the minds of many people, maybe we wouldn't have gotten where we are today. So it is about how the justices of the Supreme Court and even our current Chief Justice maybe has handled herself in her public comments, in her justice delivery. And some people think that she has become a stumbling block to justice delivery. And you know, she has to go. Right or wrong, the committee will determine that.
Could this also trigger that in the near future, the next government, it doesn't feel content with the Chief Justice or what? I mean, this same sort can also go on.
I mean, you see, I don't have a problem with that. Okay. I want people to talk about a president has been said. I mean, presidents must always be said, whether for good or for bad. It could also be a warning to a future Chief Justice that about a Chief Justice, you must hold to the fidelity of your oath. That may a Chief Justice for the Republic of Ghana, not Chief Justice for the President of the day who appointed me. And you know, say, President of the day, Nepal, na sembo to minima, or is there me and the Katasumu Amado? No. I'm sure it will also be a precedent so that future Chief Justice will walk the fine line and deliver justice to the satisfaction and admiration of everybody. But in the event that will be told there why you don't partner or the petition, that will be the right of that person. It will be the right of the president, that future president, to also evaluate the charges and seek advice from the Council of State. If the Council of State finds merit in it, they will also advise. And so for me, the future will take care of itself. Anything can happen in the future. It may be a way of safeguarding the future from injustice. It may also be a way of opening up another Chief Justice suffering the same fate. Whatever be the case, it should be a lesson to everybody that when you are appointed to an independent constitutional body, act as the Constitution expects you to act. The future will take care of itself, as far as I'm concerned.
Are we losing trust and confidence in the judiciary?
As Afrobarometer reporter, the judiciary has always come out to be one of the state institutions that people have criticized. The judiciary has always been among the top 5 institutions of state that people criticize, where there's lack of trust. The judiciary has always featured, and that should not be the case. Because you see, we have bastardized the executive because it is political. We have bastardized the legislature because it is political. if we bastardize, if we allow the judiciary to be politicized and the judicial officers, right from the chief justice to the superior court judges to the magistrate to the clerks, all to be politically biased, then we have lost this democracy. So all of us must protect the judiciary from being politically infiltrated, even though there's a fear that the judiciary has been in terms of people who have been appointed there. Yes, in terms of qualification, they may be qualified. But when they are politically exposed, for example, if you appoint a former parliamentary candidate as a Supreme Court judge, just imagine if a matter concerning his party comes before him, how is he going to rule? So you don't put such a man in that awkward position by putting him there. And you know, our politicians must also learn a lesson that the judiciary should not be infiltrated. People should be appointed on merit, not on partisan consideration and familiar relationship.
Prof, can party affiliation determine the outcome of a judgment, Anna? Because in the judiciary,
that should not be the case. Anna Mekade say a judge, not a man of a political party or power as a judge, not a court na a group, not assembled to win him, not a political case. Not any case, being with the case, made in a finchim, then the quarantine and medactor. I don't think anybody will be angry with you. But when impression gets created, some for the name of Mampine party for one of the winning man. Those may in the area, but some for another party won't be winning man. Then people begin to have issues with you. So you must be fair to the process. That is the most important thing as far as I'm concerned. I mean, as for politics today, and to be he will have one inclination towards, but you don't have to be openly partisan as a judge. You cannot be openly partisan. On Erica as a judge, and you want to go into politics, that is your constitutional right. But when you are a serving judge, you cannot be openly partisan. And so partisanship shouldn't be apparent or even covert. You must be fair to the law. Fidelity to the law is important. People will criticize you for whatever reason, maybe because of your background. But working can what judgment? No. Judgment here, Papa Diame. One family party semankum or shame brano, no other two baby or daughter. Yet judges seem to me, I don't think they will have much of this issue about trust and insensempia or create work in the minds of many people. That has even led to this current situation we have with the Chief Justice.
Prof, ma yanda say banana yehu, I mean some leaked documents purported to be the response and then the petitioners were from so later on we'll go into it. Now is the incomo afon as to what they are raising. Does it meet merits for the removal or the suspension of the Chief Justice once the prima facie case has been established against it? Prof, later on, Yababa Anodo now is in commentary for your input.
No, you're much.
All right. Ebusayani Professor Vincent Asamfo, Ono a associate professor in the Department of Religious and Human Values, University of Cape Coast, and you can see in common on the suspension of Chief Justice Gertrude Tokunu. No assembly. But then when you from the leaked document about Botogwa, in fact, Odosun yepa Odosun document in Odosun Chief Justice or respond to or the petitioner was a cry president Omano 10 days to on final response in Fambrano. We've seen some of the response here, and will go through kakra na yezi amo na unsu ehuza orokodo ewo ho enti and then I catch there some documents be about I am not privy to it enti it will be hard for me there. I'll comment on it or read that document until I get further and better particulars of that document, on it. I will be giving you a set of the response. I have Kastle 90.3 FM. Ma yanda oye Telecel. Telecel se main control. On chebia Telecel Ghana Music Award. Obabado. Na on na wadi oye special Telecel Ghana Music Award bundles. Was it take advantage of our discounted bundles in this month in celebration of the Ghana Telecel Ghana Music Awards and vote for your favorites. With every purchase of a special TGMA bundle, you automatically cast votes for your favorite artist in the Artist of the Year, Most Popular Song, and Afrobeat Song of the Year categories. Until dial *700# or download the Telecel Play app to bundle now and enjoy the savings while showing your support. Telecel, connecting energies. The master of Betway Bet Influenza. Also, my person kuminya. Already, our Alfred Eric Betino is the Manimede is the Enyesika Shokutukum pa Enyesika Shokutukum. And see, Minimde who code in a yaman for che and I end them. Code in a rabbi or so, awesome, so much baby. Hey, I'm out for your one with you. And see, with Betway no, I say. The more ultra better no, and I do code I share with your loved ones, your family members, your friends, and I want to ultra on your code. Now, what's the the man? Earn 4% of their one you earned 4% of it. It's whether you win or you lose. Audi okashugu kotokum. And the start betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Betway, get way more. The discussion front, Game Park and Afi Ridge Royal Hotel and also in Asen Emma Eze Abro Elho. But Mamin go through some of the responses. Abba and the Mamin Sanamon today. There are two fresh petitions in Asana Kobio. And my Abeya and the established prima facie case against Chief Justice. New petition 2 Nunso Aqua Nunso Impinfo Shena Wabuchi Elho. Ayasemo. And Timbrin and Kabia and Obetre Elho. I have Kastle 90.3 FM. Ma Mensankawo response another views on the topics are here discussed into 0244 743 143 0244 743 143. You have text message, another WhatsApp message. Fabra na yenzi inkomo ewo hon 0244 743 143 0244 743 143 na yenzi inkomo ewo en some. So this was dated on the 4th of April 2025. I see. His Excellency the President, Jubilee House, Accra. Your Excellency, responds to charges in petition for the removal of the Honorable Chief Justice by Shining Star of Ghana, represented by Mr. Kingsley Ejay. And the first petitioner or respond to by Shining Stars of Ghana. And I don't know whether or a group or an individual on what presenting a petition. So also response to charges in petition for the removal of the chief removal of the Honorable Chief Justice by Shining Stars of Ghana, represented by Mr. Kingsley Ejay. Now, also respectfully, the petitioners, represented by the convener of the group, have petitioned for the removal of the Chief Justice on grounds of stated behavior and incompetence pursuant to Article 146, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution. The convener states that in the context of the petition, the incompetence means inability to maintain high judicial standards as a result of improper administration of judicial procedures. So this is the petitioner, Wadukray. Also, the convener states that in the context of the petition, incompetence means inability to maintain high judicial standards as a result of improper administration of judicial procedures. Now, first complaint. The petitioner refers to a letter written by the Chief Justice to His Excellency President Akufo-Addo requesting for the appointment of 5 justices of the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court and urges that this act was in breach of Article 144 of the 1992 Constitution, and so the Chief Justice should be removed from office to restore dignity and public confidence in office. So, do you remember that there was once a complaint made by the Chief Justice after a letter to the President there Alpha in Kofu 5 be embra or the Supreme Court. So the petitioners, one of their petition will refer to a letter or Chief Justice or the then President, His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, requesting for the appointment of 5 justices of the Court of Appeal to Supreme Court and urges that this act was in breach of Article 144 of the 1992 Constitution, and so the Chief Justice should be removed from office to restore dignity and public confidence in the office. Now, the response in so I respond to the letter of the Chief Justice Ocho de Kama President Akufo-Addo, and on that score she ought to be removed a breach of the Article 144 of the 1992 Constitution. So yaboko Article 144 of the 1992 Constitution. Now what is in Article 144? Now the response in also my humble response. On 17th December 2024, one Professor Asari presented a petition on inter alia, this same issue, to the President of the Republic. He sought the same relief sought by the current petitioner, thereby invoking the process set out under Article 146 for the removal of Superior Court justices, including Chief Justice. Your Excellency, the then President, His Excellency Akufo-Addo, referred the petition to the Council of State. After requesting for the responses of the Chief Justice, I submitted my response to the President. The President, in consultation with the Council of State, conducted a consideration of whether the petition on this subject matter raises a prima facie case for removal of Chief Justice. The determination of the President, in consultation with the Council of State on this subject matter, and found on page 7 and 8 of their determination of prima facie case, set out the factual background to the request complained about. I humbly submit a copy of that determination dated 3rd January 2025 as Exhibit SS1. The said determination of the President and the Council of State further quoted from the decision of the Supreme Court in Ghana Bar Association, Others versus Attorney General, and Others Sky versus Attorney General, page Danson Champon versus Attorney General, consolidated rate, the rate number in your account, reported in 2015-2016 to SCGLR, judgment dated 20 July 2016. The first quote came from the opinion of the court articulated by Doche, Justice Doche, Supreme Court judge, found on page 897 in this word. Whilst the President is mandated to seek the advice of the Judicial Council, and consult with the Council of State in appointment process of Supreme Court judges with approval of Parliament, those advisory opinions are not binding on the president. He is entitled to disregard the advice, but he can also not appoint any person who has not gone through the 3-tier process of recommendations, that is Judicial Council, Council of State, and parliamentary approval. The second quote came from the opinion of the Supreme Court articulated by Atuguba, Chief Justice or Justice of the Supreme Court, found on page 891 in this word. The practice is that nominations for appointment to the Supreme Court comes mainly from the Attorney General, the Ghana Bar Association, and the Chief Justice. And the Judicial Council send their recommendations on successful candidate to the president, who then pursues the process completion. The conclusion of the determination of the president in consultation with the Council of State on this subject matter found on page 8, therefore, was that no provision of the Constitution or law has been breached. The petitioner has failed to establish any misbehavior or incompetence on the part of Chief Justice to warrant her removal from office under this charge. Accordingly, this allegation is without any basis and is therefore dismissed. Respectively, this consideration of the President and the Council of State was arrived at following consideration of the same fact and issues raised by the petitioner hearing, and the fact that my recommendation rested on the established practice articulated by the Supreme Court in the Ghana Bar Association case. It is further respectfully submitted that the rule not to try anyone twice on the same fact and question in the same forum is an entrenched rule of our jurisdiction. It is administered in civil law within the doctrines of res judicata, arising from subject matter or issues estoppel. The legal foundation for this protection from double jeopardy is found also in criminal justice and is administered within the plea of atrophy convict or atrophy acquit, to the extent that this same August Constitutional Forum created purposely to resolve issues regarding the initial review of the petition against any Chief Justice of the realm has concluded a determination on this issue. It is my appeal that the issue should be considered to be res judicata. So the first respond, Chief Justice, or respond on the letter or the come by the president to appoint justices to the Supreme Court. On the Chief Justice, watch me there. This is per the response, so you get hold of it. And I watch him there. There was a case like that, and the committee, President Akufo-Addo, or for me, this same issue was raised, and they found it the Nimpani petition, it doesn't hold. Now, my memo sent to crab or free that this cannot be held, or this same petition cannot be sustainable against her. Ono the opinion of the court by Justice Joche, Justice of the Supreme Court. What they advise, what do you call? Say, whilst the president is mandated to seek the advice of the Judicial Council and consult with the Council of State in appointment process of Supreme Court judges with the approval of Parliament, those advisory opinions are not binding on the president. He is entitled to disregard advice, but he can also not appoint any person who has not gone through the 3-tier process of recommendations, that is Judicial Council, Council of State, and parliamentary approval. So, Chief Justice Oma oya recommendation to oya president. The president is not bound with it. And even so, or the recommendation you kokra or say there, nimpa no all go through a 3-tier process of recommendations. That is by the Judicial Council, Council of State, and then parliamentary approval. And the main yina bokoda though the Chief Justice no wama or your opinion or what suggest, but you wanna worry about the Supreme Court and they go through a process. Into the Chief Justice or the come president na and the president were appointing Kofuno on one about. So the Judicial Council had to recommend. Then Council of State it also also one who bembi. Then also Parliament will also approve set persons or set people, and then finally they will be appointed. And so free that case what they are called onyaza otumina or hold elho enti osusu there that make case in the campono one bo info ingu. So the no doson yeru kwenyim the second complaint is also here. Let me go through it. Chairman Apiaba ye ebezi nkomo pa ebezi nkomo. So let me go through Chairman Akwaba.
You know.
Meji de enya the leaked document ni bi.
I'm na ya na mempem 170. And Chief Justice Tokono wa me yata si there.
Meji de no. I asked a simple question.
Yes,
okay, yes.
I'm giving you a reason to that.
No, yes, there
I'm giving you a reason to that.
What your reason?
The reason is also there. Mukotino also on your day there by on a big change in brand, but the law is the law.
Yes,
yes. It's meaning that the law is the law. I'm meaning there. So busy petition come a president. Apart from Nimpakrona, we petition there be a wire wrongdoing it. A biana president Mamma Quenya Mobo code Quedra what they are. Obian you can do. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So if I tell you there, me what do you call it? A document in yes, Mr. Actually, I was more catching a quarter into me. So that's my intake.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, that's my take.
Yeah.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And see, we can as a leaked document, we can't pinpoint there. Ebia o free or ma what the no another on yano. Yeah.
Inti ache bi me kan wasa no man kan wasa bi ya. Na ache bi obodu there. Sana ma me ni pon on ya dama. Inti nyum gas no crack bakam.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? Yeah. That's why I'm careful.
Yeah. And we shall get that context well. Na yenyina no yenzi inkomo ewo. So according to the document, the second complaint the second complaint, the petitioner questioned the decision of the Supreme Court in the case of Afonyo Makin versus Speaker of Parliament and Attorney General suit number J102 2025. He complained that from the facts and issues and the ruling of the court, the Chief Justice who presided over the suit was in breach of rule of natural justice. So, yenyim, the awkward with regards to the 4-seater, the speaker or declared vacant, or parliament, or binima was it across the carpet. So, honestly, allegedly, or pim, the petition, ono, and yehu, allegedly, or a response for yes, in Kofuna
Walker. Was that some not someone where
for now, the whole document.
Exactly.
All right. So yes, you
anyway.
All right. But Obianjano. All right, Ebusia, and so these are some of the documents. My culture there, Yebezu Enkomo, Yaboshe. The prima facie case was established against the Chief Justice and some of the renowned justices, renowned lawyers. Ibinim Krampo Orkade Obeya, Chief Justice Inka on resign in this process, in can resign. That should be the best in there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Na petition and kofro was abano. So what you shema zina so no kora. I mean we good when
but we need to know the merits of the petition too.
Exactly. But
or resign or engine the or resign. Maybe engine the or resign. I mean the process of justice. Yes, but
once the law is the law, no.
Oh, to resign in this process.
Exactly.
Okay. But we will try and get lawyers. Now we're educating on that. So the production team will work on it. Now try to get lawyers. Now once we're educating on that this process can the Chief Justice resign, another the process can still go on. All right. Intimate. Intimate. Chairman appear ena nana bo amena membo anti man say ena no du ku ye tuntum na no ye tuntum na tell you green in fact I like your dressing and maybe any ena what na sa ye bezin komo ye hwede the MPP rep nso wobaba na won so abaka ho na yezi nkomo aha Kastle 90.3 FM mema no hodo dwumezi ena eguderite Mrs. Kwamna Esuman ba mentwa mo mbra meba ena ma begwafo no ma mo na kwaba na esi
chairman minchia
oh onchie
no
chairman ordinary tu nkomo bi mara
obe introduction
onye introduction omba mu kra
wakada je na favor be
oh auntie man say you know me auntie man say you know me and you know the show. You know me.
And I see, sir. When MC, I've been to the way, man.
No, not really.
MC George Justice Atta. Our own brother, George Justice Atta.
I one brother.
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh, yet today, I am brother.
And I said, but I know I started. But George did.
Never my call, even put a friend call on for call.
No.
I tell that.
Let me answer you this.
Oh, it's early days yet.
Early days. The previous discussion
and
yes.
People are complaining.
Yes.
Not knowing the judge, no phone you about this seminar. Okucha for free.
Okay.
Obi or friend on him
normal.
If I say that, Rabba, and they're going forward, no. No call program interview na say and sure I can grant you obi in in come
yes
while recording na say
yes so also you careful yeah also you careful
say you have text na kind of job anti-man saying oba reply
also you careful on that
what can channel the door is open to everybody
yeah already
you can go there
and trust George anytime you know chairman all right ebusia ma mentwa mo mbra and your fan common your fan sister do ewa ha onity ma join in on Facebook Kastle 90.3 FM then also on YouTube Kastle 90.3 FM leave your comment na share like the page so ewa ho so I'll be back na yes in common achado ewa
Bridge Royal Hotel, Second Reach Cape Coast. Rooms smell so fresh and clean with cozy and comfortable beds. A gym and swimming pool for your recreation and relaxation. And the food. Buffet served every day, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Alongside fast foods like sandwiches, pizzas and pancakes. That is simply delicious. Bridge Royal Hotel offers you the best half and full day conferencing packages. Indeed, that's a perfect experience for you in the Asian's capital, Cape Coast. And my go-to place anytime, any day. Visit ridgeroyalhotel.com.gh on the web or call 031-2003-222 or 050-1672-908 for more. Ridge Royal Hotel, richly inviting and comfortably yours.
Ope Frigia, Jody Bisham Dia Bapubai, Nelson and Chew in Namkania. And how and no one high sense. na high energy efficiency standard for anyone sa shase. Eno kire se ekuli pa and say nyinam kania na banefeswa we did there. Every single door efe side by side I muso any cross door nyina. High sense wo fridge sene fata wo. Me che de wo hia ni bi e de ma wo. Say your vegetables, or drinks, one nam, the way diamana no. High sense long lasting cooling no. And manaya fresh at Bribia. A 28 April, a copy 8 May. A high sense refrigerator promo. So high sense fridge, never fear your gum. High sense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Auntie T, I beg, fix me go betete Ghana. No gari, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, brah, that be dangerous combination, no.
Problem no day. I feel handle am.
For Telecel, with the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, if you get your own data and call packages, falla! Made For Me bundles like the way you the want town. That *530# then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Ebusia ma mensa no ma akwa bebio aha Kastle 90.3 FM me man hold on dwumezi na yeguda yezi inkoman mesimo messages in bra 0244 743 143 0244 743 143 na yenzi nkomo ende area bri. All right, ma menka the message in for na yenko yenenyim. Please, John Mahama has not tasked the Chief Justice. Don't mislead your listeners. Anybody can petition the president, and the law says he must forward it to Council of State. They must say the CJ has a case to answer or not. Mahama cannot stop the process. If we don't like the law, let's change it. Oh, but okay, thank you for the message, but I haven't said in anywhere that the president has tasked the Chief Justice. We are talking about the petitioner obey and then the subsequent suspension of it. So this is the information, or this is the income. All right. So ebia at enyane dama, that wasn't the issue in Timedase. Good afternoon, Mr. Suman. Thanks so much for bringing this learned professor to educate us on this issue of national interest. By this explanation, I think nobody would come on air to throw dust into our eyes. Order to score political point. Thumbs up to you for the way you put out the questions to him, thereby making the interaction very, very interesting. God bless you, Michael Agbeko Amamoma and Mike Menso Medasi. Please come now. How are you? My suggestion is that we Ghanaians should not politicize our court system at all. Okay. We shouldn't politicize our court system. Let me salute Chairman Appiah for the good work he's doing for our beloved party NDC. Chairman, you do all from Alberto, Deputy Organizer, Cape Coast South. Alberto, Unsu Yechio. Okay, this very last one here. Okay, Metro Bay Dementiasio. Chairman Akwaba.
Ankwamena, Mejodo.
Bibiaboko.
Nyamena domina, Minuanu MPP free na one mamera ho kakra.
MPP for I then.
Kwamena. They be am a better radio, they am a kada yenuanu me. One principles in Yejuma. Sir, as in one worry ya. Oh ye.
Okay.
But so nya one warriors was really one in pedia. On ye. Ankwamena. Embrana Kufado or set presidency bino 02 Magana fun. Ankwamena ya Kena Kufado in saying.
What was the precedence not set to the tour?
Kwamena 1. No boom painful.
chairman
ama sister wa hwe me
chairman ekeri kibombu mpemfo
mpemfo kwam no yenya ye hu ayemfo kra wembu wan na manfo na woyɛ Ghana fo na wɔfa kwane bi do wɔkɔ no wɔ no wɔkaka kyɛnde President Akufo-Addo yan constituency ana be ma ye we atu nye na egu yen ho development bi a wo ye ne krom wo o say na ncha moment to aba men kwam na wona we dedende na wo hin wo yen dedede mama aza ori no we breach constitution na wo hin na wonyi Ghana at the time Akufo-Addo only yi Doblovo no na the man coffin na wo hin breach constitution na the man coffin wo hin at the time an Akufo-Addo in ori yi Charlotte say no na wo hin Charlotte Sempo demanded the petition na president wenya no on fama ne lawyer simple na on oka the true ne lawyers na on fama na ncho nhwe na nsem bi wo wa onyi ya no then Eugene the Gongon beater at the presidency said that no unless they get to court in Adamu one away they did mama all your political gimmicks you know and I want him Pamina on no home because young money be my yazir kono yari ya say man mama one shada won brew crew na enyim there mama pede or your politics mama Ghana for need to even recommend that the mama has really behaved or performed very well based on this particular issue.
So the process in the constitution stipulates the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the end will be ya ban for free one for constitution do.
How do you determine that?
So woman petition be more or can I'm saying. One for man. Ban the constitution kada or was in a second. Are you getting it? Okay. Exactly so. And there is mommy and yet. Chachuti kata no was sorry game. Pepe your kade say uncle pono buono mase obedi president obesa so da na meren na so wembu asori na and obiri asori woman na one worker chin at that time na Akufo-Addo no ya attorney general or there police and military or koso ya chachuti kata and I'm say them nyanu me free worker there in there. And what Chief Justice said in Ghana in our history. Is it true? It is not true. In Krumana Bredo, Chief Justice was removed. In Akufo-Addo na Papa was part of the what do you call it the committee members. Search and see. And see, I am one wash as in any there. Mobili yan politics there. Or pedo oji Chief Justice fuel. Kwamina. Right? And that's the time as I'm not being a macadam. Mbri babayum. Yen judiciary system. Or the son entirely. We need to have reforms. Because so being poyazines a pedazo quarter. Only Jezebia woman does go court to being a justice. Ibini. Kwamna Chief Justice or serve two purpose or functions. One is what? Administrative functions and the judicial functions. It is a many be car. Wo fin de bia Chief Justice akatina sembido. I be a 7 wins in ye in Tran or in if you. But we breach administrative functions in be. Embrano Otsia. Some brain sears are quamina. Obia nyo bakacho de oli with you. Because obia rinjina do bimpo no akadoz we then ozi with you. A crubia matse kwamina. That Chief Justice. Embrano mo kwando de tukwan. But you have a limit. Limit in there. So you are going to travel on official duty.
So post Judicial Council report, Nana.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Said to Kwana, no official. is a bodyguard on Pokra Nazako. And I'm a boy. And our aircraft is all there then, Efa. Ebe, mami. Na sebo to connect wukun, na won't bear to kwana. You do that on your own expenses or private money. But in you kuna wo yenum and you want to kwan. Na we say it's the end yesika. It's a travel kuna on your wambaka. Abe, Ankwamna. Now me am meeting away am ye teaching ye. My traza. What comes from few what do you call years, Marco? But yeah,
that document in me full document of it, me but young friend there or ne official travel privileges as Chief Justice.
Exactly.
Na the official travel privileges, you know. Ni engineer ni bi. Or the man nukun in a number no onion to Canada. That breach
the man kwan.
Okay.
Lord man kwan ose beya dama for where wusika. Then chan you kun on your way to Canobian season. So why do whisker? But them brown man kwan don't fight yani yensika. No fun on yen ben to kwan. That is all like that. Read the constitution and see. It is not. It is ayadama. A breach. The law. On a catch the young papa Akufado. No set a precedent. Now me there. Power nanka says nya. Say nyamian yawa do my own. And the power they did with him. It is say yazibia and shen ya and I'm because what you know when you be there won't feel burning me that. Because be your friend the Japan royalties. Book keep your bar out me with them coffee wastage. In some maybe I want pada ya won't coffee burning. Mancha one could say president. Judges are appointed to Supreme Court. Come now, no money in. Mama's a queer. Kufua's a queer in Kana Wakania Kufado. In John Seshi. But he ya damazia. Ya damazia. In Kofu Benya Junibizamon. On in the way see. Coming on in the way see.
The constitution also the president
the room
the room to appoint
because of young politics. In Chinchode na kwamra kwani baby grandpa. A corner what father was appointed. Judges in
the I want to draw meanings to that appointment, Anna. Maybe he did it fairly that he ought to appoint people.
Kwamina, on na mercy. Per constitution, no. In John say but because of 1 year, Kwamina, going forward, you mean some uses here. Muslims and my baby. Kwamina, one more position I am. Or the show can say ye. Well, lifestyle, if and ye. Because Dama, yani heads of institution in Yinano. So what's would Jinanwa do away with politics? Because I'm Shenia. Need be Akakasembi Masamono Atichiro. Anakayazi be Mobia Mudeo. I will want to marry you go for a particular what you call a party. Hamna. We see a beard, a bassa, and nan enum circle. And we said there, Mammy, when you biaram into no foe. An ori yan of fin there, our power and see on fi power da. Hamna, second canning some be a wabana. Oh, yeah, say kakra. But I'm a merchant a day. Committing a button a hole. Now, what friend will be in some me at say no. No, what petition him out there with the A. No, there you're careful going forward. If you are even appointed and I be them. Because you're 7 Ghana. Yani, what do you call judicial system, no? Or then Kofunya Jezi wom. That's some was some, Adamenya some, no business court. And also is obi kokota na menyim da asam na me gina do no ye da menja justice. But it's a dumb jazini niwa. Pamina na yannan hangwim. Because mami neshani dimina. So even po so our point so called justice in be the one to assembly do. Our interest. It's ocean judge konin interest na or one if you are not playing to that interest. Say nya wakoda bia wako what do you call it nipakona call how do I say it cra if that someone was out to work a cra ebokwa ban waka chodo we change what the our friend
why join the case now
why join the case now I know what call there's a term to it that I'm not getting the time to come na say ebia wako leave bi kakra atasia Baba no waka chow there at the sound was a judge for Frabadon but in a case no. A cre a bien a basa. And Quamina. Nti wara in a zone a quarter to frame. Now Quamine in your midday, even petitioners see Nana Kufad in the time. For petition Akufado. A aware Quamina. Exactly. It's why the young man been worker there. Or your political in a mama pedoye. One mark for them petition. I could father boy baby. You know this man. At the time an MPs what catch and Foriata or he said the image of the party.
Can President Akufo-Addo on his own bought a petition you go because he had the Council of State. Petition about he had to consult the Council of State. That is the rule. Can he on his own do Olubegwa?
I'm not petition wasn't Council of State one was the president.
As a president, what do man or refer to Council of State?
It's a president I refer to Council of State. What we say when there president in your petition. Sir President I refer obesna it's a kwamna in papa. Asami si water ya one shoe 1 minute kofumba. Also, but
on that score, we going to mean what the petition coming on his own or Bwegui.
Kwamina, ya were examples of what they call his examples. MPs, MPs. What called an Akufo-Addo? What's in a cassette game? Catch the president. Most Sagana Rekono. What brother? Olugu party de nyimase o magana so yezen o say na o waje be zagro Ghana wonja my brother Montana do na yenyeska kwamina the mazi kodoma me say one MP man what for MP man bi what odi ya wo hwan mo radio by radio na reka adwasafo o radio do by radio oka ensenyi papa na mo say so even post on ma Council of State for share petition wa come asem pa chemi ye show put the masam che bia we twa na bia we mu na bia petition no da wo ngina do ado nya ngina do kwamine mama refer to Council of State no what you try say wrong with them azi ekure ba say enum bi wo ma odo wo twetwam into what to ho aba kwamina out of the 31 30 people voted that was suspended, mami no. Am I lying? Na Council of State or NDC fungusi no goa. Ana mi so. Council of State NDC fungusi no goa. It's nipa 15 nipa ntuma nkada no. Mami na asam na petition was a be no about mami no. Njiandu bia enyim. Na 30 people waja tum de njiandu bi wo mu za. Na kwamina asamo o de yenya butal me yete ba kwamina do you know that I'm happy about what is happening? It is not about political what do you call it sentiment o. I'm happy because obey institutional heads ni na why careful because actually be was you kejina institution biano the head na mbo braye na bobo brado president appointment me baby on the behalf of what you call it on behalf of the president and the China president for football be you no obejina da mensam na do bi na was you meti de yanya no mbiri ka de say ya da meza e no no ye bokoni bi ato de president fufuru bi ba ne so bayi e bia na se bia wo kasemi no de we remove chief justice or the fufuru ba president to be suba obeyin na maka cha wanda na ya ba maframa sa no working chief justice no ba na so onya boni bia abakwa na ba fado na ezibeyin because constitution kire kwana order fado as be chief justice is that not the case? That's the case. In see employment there that will be ya ban adwuma biara ewo aban na adwuma edi aban adwuma, what do you call it, the head another head, you know. You have to be careful in some bia ye wo behavior what can say wo behavior odo or ye there e ye adwuma no amagana for but not a political party. On an IGP kwamna and the master me de bia meka but e bia na oya ze kru e bia me nyim ba kwamna yako by election passing what do you call it, it's a south kwamna I'm telling you man in name number boy man there in offering state man share as a MPP funi stage or the police if no yen the man ordered there's a bagana. No any intimidation from anybody. The police in the rough because someone will go in or you Ghana for. And the police did exactly that. What you name and offer it no? You be in pinch party. As I say, you be in nephew because as I can on yen when 2 1 yet. It's what happened. Wasn't a quite now what you training someone with the no. You procure petition one day. IGP ABC didn't. One would I know. IGP with Jana. Exactly. It's the Martin MPP for now per year. No, there was a good IGP name. I say it's a mama. But mama indeed call IGP there. From the way I won't confirm what your complaints about you about who conduct no obey. Tell me you. Do you know that IGP on your time see Juma? IGP on your mama Juma. It's mama when the competence. Oh yeah. But come there with Juma. Nan kofu pi in boats in here. I mean, much more. Mama for fraba. Sa for fronaba. No one would son of pepper pots do ye. No yetching wabea. When yam at AC. Na a yawa was he, what as I was he yaw my itzy yawdo, a bunda wakra, oda, obada. Basisiano, in the Mitse TV station, Pan African TV. Now when they won't buy Jeep in Abado. MC, we has more thing, you know. One day, or buy Jeep in Abado. Samamia, ya can was me. Say indeed. Committing it now. No ye bibiara. She'll be brought back. So why you be bizarre? Then she'll be removed. So why don't you wait for the committee to sit for you and I to watch and listen to what the woman did? If indeed hold water they will remove now, so be it. When they will remove now, so be it. Back abe nejuma. But the chinebi obo suyazi bi efion. They be demina me ye, but then kofe wuni ye kofa tibase. Until next time be me be ma. Or them will share my conduct. Pamina, into going forward, you know, I think there, or save you right, or the issue as if you
and the political sentiment no your neighbor do there.
You come now, you don't share come now, Mamma can't your petitioners name. Ja, Mutama Banadram, sir, come now, Mama, and one was a petition, because why am this for? In some bia when your justice for court. In some kitty bia, breaches a woman why on once and was okay. And this in bia him come now what was in charge, you'll be surprised. Yeah, the monk of Waba committing it now one was for boy you get to know that the enemy and Kofoka the NDC Funan watch your petition with that kind of mama. In no way. I'm on your madino. Come now. Ye nya mama na appointee. Dam MP. Moko Bubungwe was the name. Obungwa na onye wo friend na microphone wo a vetting committee.
Committee na se no.
Oya chief whip of minority.
The fiamapo.
No. Only NDC, EMPP.
I'm not on pray.
Hamna or send the petition to Mama. Mama set the committee. Nimpa Otina, or your chair of the committee now to MPP judge.
Or your judge or your MPP judge.
Okay, Mama friend them. I apologize. Or your judge, Otina do ye. I want we work at your mamma. No, I mean, unfortunate or appointed. No, Mamma wins it. So, what is wrong about this one? On the MPP, or send the petition to Mama. One can not employ a rough and say, and Tony petition. Mamma tells one to him. Missy, I've been a papa, but I'm a corner, my cafe, I'm away home. She, I will my young quan do 1 year. Come, maybe I will boss my mamma. What catch an appointing you biara? I will be a buyer rough. Because no power ni be, no way ye can cry, no zamo, therefore can you, Juma. Into Shamama Nani Dimina, now brassy. Your competence on fire and resummon corruption from family wall. Come no. Into what catch your beard away bed Zagre. I was on report to Biaba Babiano or there could jail, I boko jail. Into Quamram do one more beer sit up. Here, Quamina. Minister for Lands and Resource. What was the name? What's the name?
I'm a Kofi Boy.
Kofi Boy. No, listen. Because why you committed there? God, I'm saying no. But stop. But me. One more forest reserve. When you me there, one on there was mine. Now, where didn't comment? I'm in Tasso. Then she was the one pom one that won't come mine. Because what's all your reserve? Hey, car park. And I say, this place is reserved. It's reserved for a purpose. What's that mean, your enemy? Wait to go down Ben River in airport or would see, won't do, they don't care. People are dying, people are getting kidney problems.
Every day, this Galamsey issue, it is only MPP people who are doing it.
Come in now, whether MPP, whether NDC.
Yes.
As in why you know you're wrong. What you want for them?
Yes.
Me, I believe in that.
Yeah.
Into mama, maybe I want it. I will be alive, but show the NDC. I involve in what I'm saying. One prosecute you. Ntamabwa say yet simple the NDC be the business one prosecute now. Yabama petition where you see. Come here, bro. I saw money in your bro.
Okay.
About 5 years. Sir, what your corruption perception index are? And you there judiciary water the tether. Exactly. Into a one road to all. Come now. Ya bada ya very set. And I'm not sure say or say when it's here. It's give that justice. Yeah, one day. I'm the name I week kakra. Pedo Kofi kakra. Because of 1 or 2 years.
Pedo Kofi.
Yeah, pedo Kofi kakra. Uncle Tom from Ra. As I say, no one but fun one reset judiciary mind. They won't there. And one because come now. Judiciary or say one. The man you go. Because you want to work a cast and mammy now, yet I want to say.
And
the
penny meeting
exactly.
Exactly. The number of Supreme Court judges or majority of them were appointed by President Akufo-Addo.
Exactly.
Now you were talking about resetting, cleaning the judicial system or cleaning the Supreme Court. How are you going to do that? Are you going to clear those judges? President Akufo-Addo are appointing one off. Now, how the NDC government will appoint the Chief Justice. And now, how?
Come in now. Bibi into the broy. Broy, wakada man to later into her on fanto. But bibi wakada man to the bottle. Come now. Young constitution say. Or busy petition the bar. President Tipen Obutu myself. In power throw them petition after one. Now them petition point will leak. Come no yen will leak here. Ye boom some more. It been a yama. Hey, what ya GP? Jem was and coffin was so. But at the time of time, they'll be answer because no be answer. And to pay any crime in a bet in some man at all.
So Okwa, then your so the Chief Justice appointed or the Supreme Court judges appointed by the former president will be sweep winning off.
Come na Mr. Sebi Boba Shoko, I would about Obaba. Today, mate. Into cow boss and want some that even if why did you wronger, you can't. But the day that they biana or manager no be nejuman or manager, come na no way you na abakan wasem. I'm not say. Come na my men okwa.
So apart from these petitions and they ampoya today 2 new petitions are kono.
Exactly. Since why 5?
You had issues and they been you feel that it is a basis.
And well, you see, that is your constitution. One of what you're in our when you there, BB Dembesi. Inside I want to your review no. Or the was shady. When you there, BB Bessie, and where so. No sister a burden, watch re. Come now, sir, as it when liquor in Chenkofumpo, want to offer them 2 in Fankakam. When liquor and coffee walk a some crab, any be 100, and coffee with son and answer me, what is any son of mine wins in the
Sana huni.
On the corner mooney.
Everything with there because of the said leaked document.
My walker can war in from Mamma Merton and make it's an a big be some must say Quamina. Mamma China man coffee 1,000 bread tell you though. To the election petition. That means Sabi. Now no so qua. Election petition for Baba.
Chairman, maybe you can. Chairman appear near to the Antimasa. Lanabu, I'm not more. Antimasa Kaba. Finally, Chief Justice, she has been suspended based on the petitioner or the cray, who established prima facie case against her, and a committee doing so. Chief Supreme Court judges 2, then former Auditor General Yaudom Levo, and then a host of 2 others, and Wakawa Waboshe and Samuno. Antimansa Minteo. You're free from the baby.
What's the committee one casa?
Bankasan Sumajodo.
Who produce and management or how 1 man a queen. Make sure we see you so. Yeah, see, Chenny and carelessness. I ask it's listeners so. One of you know, go for the more than yet, but I couldn't have an yaba. And Eka CG Nasam, Anna Chief Justice Nasam. And me suspension was our mamma, and me a besia. Tinny baby, or the Mistress Stala Mecan. The baby shoot or the Bush Star Yakan. And people first were interested about it. And these officials were interested about it, but Ghana were interested about it. Anna, because on your non political parties can do Chianical. Anna, or your man only a Chianical. So a Chief Justice so far as a political party be named Pobert now as a president, now appoint to as a Chief Justice. After that, no, it belongs to Ghanaian. Anna. In a Damba Association, but Abba some was the main seminar now was Abba Sama na Waba. Uncle for 3 way bassa. No, I try one son of Carter was a come on pain. There, you know my migeti Araba, Anna. You may be a resino. Why had that 1 quay. Tia so with the Gina Damasa Midu. No for you, no sade. Where you need for where you need for. It was a come on, man pain, no man pain, soon Brahma yet I see there. Then Sako come a council of state, and no one's what you show. By my minor request, no pardon petition was a man, and also responding one. And I mean, you can say petition me won't be. May will be park I came and fan castle. Me pedem rare one. I'm American once I say Bessia, me Mukanama for the maid. Marka. offer na kwam na suman da me issue oye issue 1 second on that one yet ase
so one
second nti bia ni oriye original nwa ho suspension so echo suspension there also tina baby kakra ana na sembia to no wan hwehwem
yes
obotuma benida asem na wo hwehwem wazi yedaw nti san yeda bra one name nti san bra one name a no chede boni bia wususu fo ho no yeda oye nokor so one son one fro na atom one no wo mo beye permanent one no chede wasako sisi a 1 second and the pen am show sister station from a flag bearer to MPP ni aid a miracle a abuaje no reka sembi o say ndc fo we interested of the man semen one work the 1 second man when you day brother second no easy of course 6 come man papa ana mama come boy Emani shebaka because yerbe sakini enwa 17 time enwie yebesa ya appoint new chief justice na enye na aba wa converting why ye dey but problem ye wo Ghana ha pine dey si benya petition for biwu na ozekwa wallow my justice no ye adwuma aha ne problem Ghana ye wo se justice ne ye adwuma anka yene ne me yedri ni impako no ose dem na mami waye ti dem yazia mami aye ana embra no makwanda mami no odo ye dem azina otasa anka for petition in come on man payin de wo hwehwem then petition ye kan wan asem previous government wenye bia abasem no si wo ho abasem no si said that time previous government no nya binu petitioner was on the council of state no was several my requesting no nya no didn't respond the cry anka zibi wo ho here ya so say
but how can we determine that the previous government or his excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo petition no cry no one farmer the council of state in fact he's a lawyer and he knows the pros and cons of this issue. So how can we determine that?
He's a lawyer.
Yes.
But when you're lawyer not know. Ghana for na yama na kunya don kat no.
Oh, my mechanism say that the constitution na kade if they say enye bribi dama watch the processor ebe fado. Oh, no, Chairman. So I am supporting. I'm not. Yes, I am not here, but so I want to establish a fact.
So further, Anka Ghana for yonene this time ya kasa.
Okay.
Anka yan kasa because ona me there. It been what petition bro wono. One man kwafuna what throw we be when that as what throw in for sozi ambado ana one odo throw petition no ze bra kwam na suman there Mr. Pia throw aba chairman appear dan timansa as oriye omboa ye ni show ye riye na so ze bro na ntu man call him na bisa na man share musume side of the story na mama anu na say to chi ni yo sanka se ho no che da asamana chairman throw we be for some bon but asamana so the ho the changing of government ba said the monk for 3 now what try come president we be say na try from a new president na wa ba no dem na asamana na so far as so Ghana for you complain about it today previous government no nye in the way use no power one fine ye juma into dama this government senisa kebia na no share use no power ye juma in ye two aba more the be president wo ye no do wa beze wo come na rita sa bi ye besi o ye dem wo zizi no no musu besi no do ye me do no Ghana first time all point to as chief justice no we should confirm that share that will save our mother Ghana. Why does she say say previous days of us we need just when a court in brim Odre hey yeso se menye jezi wo. Nti one we leaders no wa Ghana we ni jezi wo ma grassroots na abaze papa na obenya fi. Da mun kofinim. Kwamina, shema men kasa men tro. Ye ma me get rid. Embrana all hono. Cement man cementasa. Muntu mu fan kama eja appear don chemu. Muntu mu fan bra wo da chemu. Baby wo yambra no. E wona meze bokọ. The one church membra na ase. Nti sawa ye ene membra ase. Na maba na church membra ase. Na ene dem mbra ne today. Na esimu bu manwa gudo. Na mara me create membra. Kamna, oya ram kakra. Petition was a kono. O man pain na zokra wa ya. Ye now they bother about the day. One full position number out da. Time was a kwa one for concern ye bi. Jaman answer suspension ya bano akai abem. Only pa akai o.
Hey, okay.
Akai. If any of the sister station, if this day, also a judge, also a question, now some do. What's happened? Where the catch or akai? What's it? But
some of us, you receive certain documents, we will go through.
Me patch a receiver, Emma, or your problem.
Okay.
Just so for the office of president. Of you waba on a akai. But so far as you get them, if you have a document, but I'm after no akai. I'm a document, Yamana was a brum.
David.
President was a command.
To me, what you determined the true a.
It been a waka, where cool and no so I to be asked my madam. Mamma Pedamizuku, my men, and my some madam. But real one, Uncle, so about one on and one some.
Yes.
Come in a tray. Nimpe bia romo appointment or dey ye careful. En serve we bushafo. En serve wo kun. En serve we ye na serve womba. E serve community na wa mo appointment. Isn't it poyes na wunya? Eye obi request o dey ama mi soro to say na asem fam. Ye wa Ghana ha Afrejan. She time ma lot na election do. That ben was Afrejan no din. When you know your baby, another one to petition about Afrejan.
Charlotte, I said it started from Nankasa Nukrofon
on American
on procurement.
As some Americans say, Sarah, get in easy. Yeah, mamma get in the oil nipple fiabana.
Dabi.
Are you within? Into within in a washon in your appointment, like a head department from one of the Anna. A head one. To within anyone a year, Juman. Baby, quite soon I want to and tassa. One brebason. Shakwamina. Yano court in Brainum Newa. Or do you more you do? Or you done a year more work a corruption. Anna, work a catastrophe. Well, like a pro, you want summer. Yarikan call for where ya. Yes, you brain him for. Yes, one is the edition. Ata hey asa. Know your problem. The me brain him fear. I was son you could sika. Is the baby no for catastrophe when you kid that chwaswa. Na the man call for the bomb ya chun call for one aswan. Yaji Yaniska work a catastrophe word didn't come. Come now, a serious issue, Magano. The man sure will be the way every day a man yesam on your man yesam. On your man yesam. And Brenna Ghana Brenna is Bumanara. Anna, or cheddar 1, 2, 3 Buama. A chief justice, now Fodo. Nay be tro or ban him no tro, who wants some or the bar. But man paying as petitioner. Although shum. Nano shows come on one of what's Council of State wants to wash him. Now, when an panel watch on petition, a requester was a mawan. Wushushum. Now, don't respond at the call. No one said, come team or what's in a hall. Now, wash into the mat, the one who make a crap. No one should one castle will respond at the bed. No one petitioner was a 3. She say, why a 5? Why don't do 5?
Extra 2 hour count.
Why don't do 5? I had a problem, no. Atasa. Say baby rain point outside. No, you within and extra 2 baba kama. No. Ochede ibenu menye details about petition na was a kwan. Say one so should I hey or go wrong against someone. One so do petition back. See find the sister Y5. By the next month you return. Na ye kwa na ye kwa.
So for now, 3 now we'll deal with for now.
Men kind of tune wide to it. But moment we'll deal with 3 no. Na extra one cerebano. Oh ma, and wanna walk as someone don't know. When you dream be the why? No cheddar zibi wa uncle ye. Chief Justice. When you has a kitkito. Anna. Ona no sure your man paying in. Nara. No kita confla. Or the man more sure in. Tien Chief Justice was sure one man paying in. Na beke chem do ye witch hunter na. No damage to ma. Don't man paying na awu. Want to abamon. Without Chief Justice, your president. No one woman be a president. In the year case you're for president. Never catch him the president will show in the rain or your witch hunting against Chief Justice. Ebe brother. Or doesn't ye shun ye? In conforto petition na Chief Justice or woman. Or ya be the main DC. Or ya be the main PP. Anna. What's in another now pointing to your MPP? Then another into say young funny day. John Mama so our point to be no so NDC there. Only the problem here Ghana. Oh, okay. So no problem nanka for petition was a kwa. Or then you chan na contain what's a petition do. What the results was about abuano. Why don't the bar association in politics? A part of bar association we need your guma. We need your wife of Francois. Only them 2 political parties in piano or banima. You can make you wrong. Okay. Say you quote them, you're wrong. Because Ghana first. Face to face in the radio stations anyway. TV stations, so you have to obey politics. And then you bring you up. And then you the first one. What funny then guy in the is in Abuaje. Dennis Miracle Boy. Also, in 1982. 82, in you say 82. But Supreme Court judges. In this time, we couldn't. Emma. Inti sasembi wo hwa na yi court ni dama o benedamo chede yi create today my men na wa appointed as Chief Justice no or ye popompa NDC for sacking, which is wrong. So petition was a kwanu oba out na some no ninjira du biara na NDC fuji na do na what the sack ma me na ono so Ghana fe wa some ye baka because emma eyi embre oninka so. This government only 4 years and only 8 years. Why do you vote be out? You're bringing one in. Kokomete no kasa. To say mommy get reading. Now some petitioner was a quan. So banu ninja do. No was sack no chado which hands no work no. Because of what I shall not say. And I want to ya or your witch hunting. To domino 2028 or baba. Aba Ghana for now to Abana will bring you in. The same Ghanaian people will vote you out. Because am I a man who on him? Damano then in Pageant. Ni je wait Hampton. Any problem me way in there. Or that some nankasa petitioner was a queen over. What on you kuna number 2 kono. And I'm brand more conde. And you could number 2 kono more allowances abechi. Atasa. Some brand makwana na allowances na is return it back. Because it's now corruption. Yaka corruption kwata sise prior. What do crew many? Nessa will find out. Na yankasa yanu ko for you wa jezi wo mu de. E bia wanyene kagina brain you mo be nessa wodzim baba kata sise ma. Ebe kwam ne bi otinefe wo wi na nkanewa. What can anka refer? What can come o sabio? Chief Justice only paying order Supreme Court in yan. Anna, into some Supreme Court no kwaye ya. Blame no was a wana. Was my Chief Justice nara? Tis a wasi on and chan what you are sacking. Until you put in the castle.
Sisano, one money charge be.
One money charge you until Castle Bian in America. Say petition or requested or here.
And what the man?
No was a man. No, so I try. Why respond one? So what should petition him? Why should not respond as a bay? And sana. No more buying there cause suspension. Suspension is different from cycling. 1 second.
Yes.
Ghana fiantas was one thing a baby no winning into. Ni jay. A man yes some na ye de frɛ Chief Justice ni issue ya wa babe. Say if do are one yan can one. At the end of the day, any political party be no Chief Justice ko or a Ghana for you chenical.
Lana wam na memo me da say antimansa ne yeten kan. The talk about official travel and private travel. On official travel, you are entitled to go with your spouse, and equivalent of half of your per diem will be given to your spouse. On private travel or vacation, you must go with your bodyguard alone or only. Per the law, you can only use government money to pay for the traveling expenses of your spouse on a private travel. This she did twice and paid them per diem. The Judicial Service audit report is clear on this. Nana Kwame, okay. Nana Kwame, but I say. Patriotic voice goes so. What is this? Okay, Mamam Kwambra, Mabakan. Or Paris Suhum. I'll say, Ghana is under threat since JDM and NDC resumed office. I beg Ghanaians, especially with the youth, let's support Honorable Dr. Brian Champon 100% to become the next president of Ghana because he have better future for we the citizens. Okay. Teacher, could you tell madam and say President Mahama suspends Chief Justice after setting up committee to probe petition. Tomorrow is pregnant under this incompetency administration. How do you suspend or remove a whole Chief Justice without the public getting to know why? This is an unwise constitutional dictate. Justice Paul Bafuboni becomes acting Chief Justice after Justice Tokonu's suspension. Ghanaians, that's NDC and John Mahama for you. All right. Resetting indeed. So, Neza Oze Abayin. Good afternoon, Mr. Suman. Thanks so much for bringing this learned professor to educate us on this issue of national interest. Okay. Hey, Mike, I think I've read your message already into Menko Menim. Don't forget that Mahama said that they have to get judges who are NDC. He said this when he met the lawyers caucus of NDC. So this is predetermined. It is a coup d'etat in the judiciary from Kapi Abum. Predetermined coup d'etat. Mr. Rose, I am telling you the true fact. Almighty Allah has destroyed, demolished the party NPP. They will never come to power now. God said so. They will stay in opposition for 42 years. Thank you very much. Alhaji Painter, Abra Academy new site. Alhaji Painter. Alhaji Bakara Mete one catcher. And thanks for coming in. Mr. Rose, the CJ should be removed from his office because of misbehavior and incompetence. Okay, DJ Simple, I say we call for. But DJ Simple, what is the misbehavior and incompetence? How you have noticed and you have evidence to. Shamaba, my boys are poised to fight on behalf for my dedicated and devotion by 7 NDC are staunch grassroots since my lifetime. This time, no kwasebubia, and I will take whatever I deserve. Greetings to Honorable George Sisata. By age mate, God Father. All right. Shamaba. Shamaba, made one more appointment to until Obenden Sisia. It seems there a queen. Obey I. President John Dramani Mahama traveled with his son in our private jet. Has the president been suspended? Is Mohammed's son an officer of the state? So if the Chief Justice travel with her daughter, why must she be suspended? John Mahama and the NDC have made up their mind to sack her. But let the NDC, all those who are getting appointment today, know that when there is a change of government, they will also be sacked. I hope no evil society or anybody will complain when what the NDC is doing is what the NDC is doing is going to be done in any future government, and it's a promise. It is a totally false that George Justice Arthur's phone got missing. It is not true. Sam, Uncle Sam, I don't know the phone also. You was this? It is not true. Is it an unanswered story that you show? Okay. Is it an unanswered story that your show is doing, or a political show where you should speak with facts? Apia is disgracing himself. Okay. Obreda to sama. Obreda to sama. All right. Ma yanda Ridge Royal Hotel as Ridge Royal Hotel semen kan show there. Sisiano UCC graduation or record, and they are being poor record or into all packages be brazimo into and they area school or families or around and afi in a one say about graduator packages be briomo and to was to book and have your graduation reception at Ridge Royal Hotel with your family and friends. Enjoy our continental or local buffet, a bottle of water, a bottle of soft drinks at 208 Ghana cedis. Special graduation room rate, bed and buffet breakfast. So have a memorable fun with your family and friends at our Ridge Royal Hotel on your graduation time. Or in the Ridge Royal Hotel at Pianche Chemibia for 0312003222 and 0501672908 or second reach ewo ogoyara damaso and a game pack was a pick one in your plug, just one number to pick, no stress, no long calculations. If your number drops, you win sharp until able to mistake one from 26 times to 30 times. Now also a win sika the real money or the money be real. Dial star 946 hash and play pick one. In Yumakuya Hui in our boa amedi jumezi yes abro. Now Yanko IMF now currently finance minister or IMF programmer say, but in some of the Atuga our current challenge is the energy sector. Our current challenge is the energy sector. Now, I see Ghana's energy sector is currently the biggest economic risk we face. That is according to the finance minister. Yeah. Energy sector will be a risk in what sense? It is still running.
Yeah, I'm coming up. My main country to some day. And Otna, if you na Otex, what's up, buddy? Manka factor. Now, some make a market. Me who America be and just American is a man can be a change about prompting by some American Caribbean. Into on a propaganda in Binorian. Uncle, before I call IMF near at 2 the issue about Abaka. I think the young Kureba Sebi will condemn the suspension of the Chief Justice Oya John Dakum. Or not describe the suspension as a day of shame for Ghana. Why do you say that? I had to our friend at to some that I'm asking me up a Perry King or so now Honoruguna no fee. At the time I was such a Charlotte or Seno, no who do a shame for Ghana. We who are to be no power and no fin than onion. Some kadi in one principles. Ntimaka at sample the nasa for the yetugu. Sam okujatu no so kade or believe it there the suspension things the image of a Ghana's image abroad.
Yes.
Abroad for no one day. Because Kwesi Brony, I'm a catcher on Kwesi Brony. Na yes, ya, yes. Kwesi Brony was in a law, the Juma. Ghana, yan law, one fine ye Juma. In Chenzama Biwa, in Che, Yanni, Yanui 1 year, and a chief justice 1 year, and answer me in body them. Antimasa can okay. I think what for the petition was a Brakufado. So Akufado acted on it properly. Jembuda. Jebian people do baby market, is imposed or demeanor, so Charlie. What fun to baby minority incident. What's there suspension or a judicial coup? Hey, now go for I work as a denny. Obika from micro. They complained and say there bitterly then you apologize. My one more was in mighty. Na young constitution or mighty minority. And see once
you new micro minority.
I say.
And
I tell you what kind of confirm what to be. My one friend will be from minority, but they are mighty minority. It's in the catch and the suspension or a coup. Fine, so be it. If they find it to be a coup, one quarter 1 year, as now we are reset Ghana. And see one day, our friend and opposition our one, or there, what criticize positively but not negatively because come now. Petitioner are maybe two someone when you are fine because if you are one chief justice on your board. Then Chabins are welcome chief justice. One or parliament, no was chief justice AKBB. So you wait until what are some about to the massive million go for the chief justice why before if you have something you say it. That's a suspension by Brahma and Brahma for court. Now when you free that power Bibiana was of court and so one for president to court. And what do one when you go so? Come now. Makada young Bonsem farmer, young finance minister, current on your old import what's a home post in the dam there.
Current at 2 forcing, and you can ask him, young cow.
And you're old in some more year now to force about to agree. Governance is what continues, is that not it?
Okay.
Exactly. Into old special prosecutor. Friend don't be in Sembiano, but what's our home is in a do? Bear 6 months.
Waka time or Ozbaba.
Waka
time or Ozbaba.
What's announcing?
Waka time or Ozbaba. Inti.
Come and be said, what's Wabaji extension?
The
what's Wabaji extension? Don't be so that man. What's our home the ones in it? But me one will be your stroke. Was not by parliament. My ye levy. About 2 abakwe. Into what's the one fun to play in Nabra, the bay in Samano, on our 2 force obey Kwan, no ya may fight in Koway. And so quite an answer more can and puzzle your problem. When the energy sector come the problem or energy sector anyone or soon. And so that abandon some way ye know yen to me ye. Ne corner or does the energy sector the fado. My energy sector no funny temper friend or the fado. Why? To the extent of recently, cables was ba. I'm a development have a young chrome baby called a Crasibiana lights nazi way. Cobrani. In a China as a China for what and what is Cabral? Ah, bye. Amna, in the way, what do I think pan me my sim? Because Abua Papo Owusu Bempa. Original radio, do me say, Ganewa. I don't know why the president, friend at a mus. Nisubani Binoza, or the Mamewa, or there in as much as there, or yeah, decent cacra on his yano, although he wicked cacra. Because say Casembi were radio down at TV, do I want before the Bayano? Mats there was the membrane was rubber. Because the issue is that it will catch any day going forward and triple Yankees company that oil. There's a booster plant to get light. Not generate TV do or economy tea. Number simple. Not said I will better but say Ghana. Now when you for soon. And the deviating Be a teacher in my chazi almost 16 good years. Come we can American. Young, I are within 4 years, 8 years. The question I come to me score them you marvel. Ya boma inform and I hear then. Come nam papa bi yan Johnson do. Or ye disabled. No day him. Nor can I mean some. Grandma hold that day. In some day, say ye, money ye, papa. Chebiano better technology be. Then Choboko, Abro Bruni be. I know stage or ye in a day, why they disabled has all ye. But do him. Or bring por for what? The queen was a mamma and po. I had them, cause in Pocono, ye being pumped one toys banner when ye be, we yache. Na mo tuma for the misike obi abesia oba besia the misike go mpase na boa papo ka che ye nya light da ampa so kakra ya we dum na why them kwamna me bi samu de den simple na obel electricity e ba kra nyi ska ho because power you use ye tua o ye indiscipline oh.
It's also we have a shortfall of approximately $2 billion.
Exactly. It's not every year. He made mention. Read that portion. It's every year. It's a kwamna. I mean, yeneja pasaye ntumuntan. But say bottom yenya private company bi. Mawa ba. Ne we boso energy sector anymore. Menyo beje. By empedo be the PDS.
Engine the inefficiencies no looking on the
kwamna ya kawasam. Inefficiency, on indiscipline, no. Inefficiency now, on Yabasi. Shakwamina. Some friend was discabiba, Yenimdo planty. The whiskey or there to me to fuala for 4 years. I like to be see the abortion will be what you can have. Now 4 years now, there's a plant, you have the power plant, no. Near the 2 years near the year. It is a 2 years in we are. Near who be me boaka for ska, there's a power planting for another 2 years. Why? Baby more do waka jisika because obinum still when you say prepaid or you supposed paid. Why na won't call? What about the office? Why do you name because can be more? Well, yes, can be was here was here. Now if you are there, you try to based on your performance. The camera they will sit up. Shall one what you just I want to what your investment today, Nadi. And the return based on number of people are. Able to was one album wabe investment as I not it. In say bona wakakayando. If you want power bumper you read you know they assign. Because said as our baba catch no. Wobe you would be me would not challenge me service kaya. Ebi a ye menya de me you kwa shempo na no kwar. It's all that ban. Or start no trend based on our performance. I think the people who stop there was Abanejuma was disagree. Because it's not the best. Now, Mr. My brother, what could be all the appointees? There's a roboto bibia procurement or whatever. Make sure there he is aware of it. Man for open and cotton if you will maybe sawa in kada ya da will prosecute you. And that too, mama na plus for her. Again, what catch the president there? Or make sure this can be a new oboko waste. And say, hey, I wake a meeting. I am a free. My son, the moment Kayo de okay meeting about Sansaka Estendo on the engine too. On a
350 million be.
That was if I am ever. To born the day rough.
Okay.
Come now.
I'm hoping that because
we born the day rough. They shouldn't even try. Because they've made a promise. Mommy and call because I'm a phone. Why want to do the one? Come now. I am your there. Condition was a man. Akufo-Addo call work for your President Akufo-Addo call for IMF. So condition was man. Even about the energy sector, they be increase the prices every quarterly. The margin was a 14%, but it's true IMF. What condition was a man? But because you need the money. So you have to go for those conditions. Wabaka chain power. Your position will catch a Ghana for there. They won't do those things.
Okay.
Until we expect there. What about Benjamin? They won't do that. Because even at the time I'm about to catch maybe some. They are sure they am coming to come, they are sure they am caught. Young China, young French Sikago Croyam, Sikago Club Croyam, Wamana. Mamma was a baby abba. Operation Feed Yourself.
Feed Ghana, no.
Feed Ghana, no. No operation Feed Yourself. In Tiami, that at the time I'm was secondary school, fancy school. And then your bed, I mean, your garden, my bedroom. Your bed. No, mudia cabbage, no, a carrot. Oh, yeah, Mitsu, Mazako dining was a mayonnaise bambieti. Now, young gentlemen soon transana. Now, water, as a water and plant.
Okay. Tell me that's it.
We need to be doing that.
Okay. Antimansa, shortfalls in the energy sector.
Kwamna Shuman. Ibiaba, Kwamna. Ya papa na nado kacha na eti skaso na so ya mobo. Ana. Ade do we kacha en so that then no what say. Yanko IMF that small boys in undi 30 million. At the end of the day, no IMF. Yes, 17 times in IMF. Anna,
yeah.
Into man paying mama or bana or ko a pro bono or kanaka seno. Or may yet day. In the true Nanado, President Nanado, former president, na current president. No ma Ghana 40 IMF. A cow at the what ya kwakaji sikana condition the way you're dinner my hand. First in Nkofo Ntaso. First in Nkofo Ntaso cry. By this time, Nkofo Ntaso pa. So with him the IMF for contrara. In the mekacho come na, yam contrara. In your only ayo, what does you 4.6? Every quarter. But be said other Ghanaian. A jumoye, a monthly salary no jahin, apart from government workers. And one away what personal work in Ankasa, nimpa hin. And a nimpa hin and win your private sector, Jumani Biswaye. Inti simple kone ye Juma, no 14%. What to lie to that? Ghana, you know, broke or straw another rubber brassan. Anna, condition our IMF no soon.
This is a condition I know near the call.
Me patch no soon. Because our years in it, what was in it? Econo be so there. Abazi, able to my Ebaka can some there because we can you loan. Some bed you loan or come nation man war. Maybe some every week muchi ahin. On me die red they pay this kind of Makama to me chia. My bedroom medal no man wasn't in tomb. Only the problem again is say your face. APP 4 by na YMF ana oko baby wokotwum kaka was standing kaka ana 10 days for some offense what tell me that my brother more can ya watchman o miss was 6 months no e na obodu ye bohwe money performance what that be 6 months what catch within 120 days nyam wo be ye ina man yankasa so ye enwolu hunti aye di ye twa 6 months na be start 120 days nyam wo promising you are appointing one by one, whether good or bad. Anna, so this IMF issue, no. You know, you can't. They the stretcher do not acquire IMF. Say the stretcher do could IMF. Yes, say, ebe can you summon now or your problem? You can say, Echo summon Abutal Park, Echo Kosikwa, Echo Ehi, Domrasi. Baby wo ya wuni kanya. Inshiaka say was no one zama be support. Ma pot no nyama no so wanya ntabar. There ya confirming baby mutu no so wetu. And we serious issue magana. Onam de yanka says ashe ne tire me de abena adwuma wonsua no wutu na azinti. Na mama da se ne bia ne wiemfiri. If you ring appointment while baby be any free there, Jesus Christ, Yankopana Kasapaka Nasam, a time will start to a sorry day. to position a politician you ready to bubu atan why no catch the politics in the Bible mu or Bible mu but kwamina ma orange Ghana for another say you need so you seeing day every 3 months biara oda what to yan kanem na ye nusu inso wole tumu po so ba anka any problem inso yimba but America say what to inso no mba was because of galamsey into inso no mba ene ebono so wodu tumu no so edo wodi treat inso no wa kosor ti woranka say Ghana nyine ewo ka wo be ya man yesama na de yere prutumi a anza ode na nkeze ya man yesama edan no honzama ekwana ebofodo obokofum light wonyama ekwana ebofodo obokofum ne nsu ijian sana ya ko school dan ya kwiyi ne yina won fa ya man yesam nti wo promise na wo be wusi school dan ama wo be man ni idechi yo nti government ne be pe na nya president pe no what to kanye man na start a complain and this force where people's manifesto ana nti oche do be ye won obi tite ye na asam thank God ye papa to force him cry no kaka dey kanye sam only the problem wa Ghana. The man won't report because IMF here conditioner as a coin. On the which I do was what they bill here no. But so would you do the bill here no but to consider and kakra and Kobabwa. In the IMF for committee about MP or MP constituency. Or could be me MP.
Some Tamils.
I mean, tell you to a bear into me MP.
Yeah.
Now, me I room, working IMF. Into my cat shoulder, a dumb better the Wabo constituency, be a mukonifi.
Now, quite.
Me keep it some as a good citizen.
Okay.
Anna.
Okay.
Chama me kind of question me chama say maybe was from Breshebo Gombia. Oh, you mean ya kwenya na meti da waba. Moko ho. MP. The man some na yet so. Those from Breshebo Gom. I won Breshebo Gom. Into Abba some no recordo. In some bebre wo me be from ono. Some mo keep go south Uncle MP ba mo kwani nando. Dawo ye to abamo de kashe ye children bra na bra won bra shebagum se nya kwanya na kan kira doma emenkwoti my ready dem pe dem tey enti wokwa no wore kanya ho asam no oba me be sani de wokekan no kisi dan and I am a fine when I do no wobobo ye kakra anot dan hwe kwamina eyiye ho am in the Ghana ye tue hen bosa ho interest eyiya which is January. Oh yes, sometimes sika ni wo. Oh yes, sika obabansa baneto. Ne workers na wo ye dwuma ma ban ni fima. Mo baka na was ko interest no. No nso. Ti de bia Ghana ye will carry forward. Oh no man ye ne busa na ye bono ko suru no. Ye bibia because a year no starting from January and to every January bia e quote your interest of your loan which is 30%. No, they show workers a cup, which is 15%. Let's say a year is a 30%. If two months go your loan interest, no, a better 15%. They show workers in the cow. They could go more 15%. To that time, many could go increment higher than what can come na heart as it is wako. Yamia ya dum. I am a friend in some time in the ATMP's worker there. Condition and no one can when I didn't yin ya papa can offer out a one bois Ghana no. Young papa and I do catch an or IMF fano, and oh 118 back on 98. Nina no IMF fano, yamin child the water na me ye. Oh, sunny day in the reason why we can IMF now. Because of ye levy. Because of ye levy.
I say you live in a Pascal or Queen.
I had papa. Then we toll boots if you were. Near ye levy bay. That time the toll boots is a kind of a brand mano. Ne ye levy so ben is a kind of in your fee levy. No problem, I wa. So ye levy in the bay, ye 16 regions. Yam then the finance minister. Or Sajafo. Or call it 3 regions. Also, educating Kofo. or spending 84.9 each raising. Kwamna, oye serious issue magana. Na kadame ye levy amponu wunsam ensam wa flodi. Ankode ye friend obi ya no. Because ye levy na is ben one boa Ghana. Only few one ye say ye kwa ye levy ya. Onam no do myself on Bagana. As a ye biara of an IMF. Ye kokoma de mo from me watching me ye. Ye nature ye levy ben ya kuma from an train. The every yanka said ye proposal cray. The ever 3 months by ye bottle ye na can ye a book. Ya train sumubo. And I want to do to more signing. On an end day. On an every day you 14%. To be some with the 14%. Eto prepaid a hint. I dare soon and ibinya. In confirm the what to ma was a percentage in a bar. Jam will free there a quarter and what the whisker. Until them. Days in senior 2 weeks, sir. Nessa to 30 cities in your 2 weeks, sir. Or they bubunade 14% in that amount in as a count. I made 2 weeks. Until them na cotton 10 days and adding 9 days. I mean for blaming ma if your customer na cotton and for blaming me the autumn as no the way you a boy on
okay
as in what to 14%. Anna to 14% no honor no there a check days our per enyan at 14 zifim. Nese ba add to whisker 13 as a cotono, a bad to 14 as a cotono. You know, the say ye can now brabon ye ruko another your son. A juma soon be anyway. A jumani be anyway. I doubt ye MPP for when any Sazunwa was a bragani biara supported, which is 1D1F. Be brave, what kind of regions that every constituency be abinyanese. If you were here. Constituency far when you want is it? Or your problem? Share bedina, eba mamu crome dina. We train quite some maka credina. I told you what to or say you shouldn't resume. I don't go from what one was able to egu. Ni bioza sure be no no once my book room. Uncle will be safe fishing processing unit, you know.
I told some that say.
Our friend then Abon should be you know about to a fishing processing unit in our juma. Na employment aye juma ho say ye kese wontum anye juma tis a changing of government aba na bani atuada membui ye resrawan won hwe mo obotum aye na bibiara ntum ye juma sugar ye craft bi no man de yazeba ye wo sugar factories ye anwa ne heara wan was obey 24-hour economy ana ye ni bi ana wan sin dem there
24-hour economy chairman appear no
ana make was obey ana wan was obey to one share no 1 year no nzimu
all right
because 6 months on 21 days in some okekenya 6 months ni do e be say ya betena
ya
point bia 111
24-hour economy or secretariat or nti maybe through that no I say adjustments can be upward. Okay, let me read. Is that what the condition of IMF that every 3 months government have to increase light bill? It is not true. Adjustment can be upward or downward. 1D1F1 was not part for every constituency, please. Okay. But Anka, to the adjustment, whether the review, whether upward or downward, was part of the IMF conditionalities. And see, what is not true about it? You can tell it is part of it. Aye. Mabumbu ya homa ntimna wo subra mbi 0244408046 0244408354 yenzi inkomo eba a minute na make a point na wunu anso etumna abembe. Good evening.
Good evening, minutes man.
Ko yebro fi edu minute 1 minute minute.
Yo, we dey minute na bo am na memo. Atibasa. Yeah. Ayana Chief Justice Assembly. NBC 4. Omude ye bi say Charlotte say. Yeah, the CSU unity. Anameboa. Ya omunga.
Dem no work am.
Charlotte say onu ankasa. Omusi kasem aba oni ni nipa ehu. Ana man na do danko akufado former president. Is he lady? Arambwa enye sikasema. Sikasem de that's no kra. Asi yi wedi. So, she say Chief Justice here. Omo pamni me enyam nwanwa so mo yes ade no. Because me fan say 2 weeks ago. Aye Mustafa Bande NDC Deputy Secretary of the class say the fellow say Chief Justice no omo anyi na dia. MPP form don be court nyina obe jaom. Asa mo ti ana wanti.
All right, koyomi dan say.
Oh, eti ana NDC for omo kan say lawyer na MC. Chief Justice obi nyi na dio, omo anyi na dio. Ghana be forward.
But I say, good evening. Yes, sir. Captain Peja Windim Namintu. Oh. Okay. Captain Planet, it's unfortunate today our voice no which in American, but your point is well noted. Good evening.
Good evening, Uncle Amina.
Yes, sir.
Dawood Mukatu Fiabra.
All right, Dawood, you too.
Uncle Amina, suspension of Chief Justice. Pocho, say Chief Justice, so one baby wa. No, Chenala, no, we create a quan nozato. Amano, because I say, Omania Yumi, say, when ya Quenya, ma was want to institution na ma wapen na waye won som tme mo fan na mom anwara na wo hwehwe na nya dam so na odoye se wuyiwa odo bo som tme mo fan a yeto aba ye zama won ne de bia na wagen party na one but can one there and your party no go tin oto aba mo CCRO band me. A man nyina will gains you. A man nyina na mum say ya magan opia. Nche buan de dom nyina post kan botu. Nti obi biala war man appointment. On ya magan fo wo hwe.
Okay.
Madati.
Master Bedasi, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
But from an entry,
what for then? Nenentry. Okay. Then I'm into okay.
But I saw come a kind there. Keep me for now winning. With the medicine, the young quite maybe I. Maybe in Yanamboa.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
And entry master by say. Good evening. Baby Jennifer. I've been apartment too. Oh, amen. Scan the Benya. You might say. Okay. But that's it. Yo. Good evening.
Good evening, just one.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to attack it. I'm
going to 10 seconds, me too.
Just one, yeah. In Baby, what is it? Would be a bunny to quote here. What for do with the both? But now, and before now, on Peter the man and Oboko. Now, why number 5 for them off, yeah? Why container ECG for Crabagana? And now 1,247. Me now, I am before we shake you. No way did the mobile. No, we are a chief justice in number 1 or second. What's one more second? Ghana, I am with you. Chief justice, I do not want to. If you want to go to I don't want to my NDC chief justice, you go to my Ghana. I want to what they. Now, the nation is no, you the in that.
I will tell Chief Justice or
the Mebo and I don't eat it in the time. And I'm not quite all in that. None what they want I want to. The best now, what you with me. When I the Ghana.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'd be Ebadoko. Now I'm abusing chance and Sabado. I'm a pocho. Good evening. Chairman, me too. All right, I do. Mm-hmm. Okay. Chairman, may I say? All right, may I say? Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Richard Ataban.
Richard, you too.
But Antuma Samam. Antuma so the man said, why I can come many for many Saba power and you should have fighting the minor fishing process. Mamma said, on bomb was in town of my uncle. This you okay, your mamma, someone was now when this happened. Yes, friend.
Antuma say a campaign man DC.
Oh, I be aware campaign and then some people wear campaign man DC. What's what JM Bank over? When you wear campaign man DC. Mama said, catch and day in Bruna, okay, yesterday. She got fighting now with this NDC Waba. Power, yes, friend. Put one on one, you need to engage. Now, at the same time, and this for more, I am sending to this friend, and between them power. So, what did I end the do? Cried it. And the better. Now, you see now, I will find a judge in a weakness one. The young man out of we night now and the chance of a bite. What's more number than yourself be business for? Into your big. But for Betty and kind to be done for Betty and Co. Dama, now.
Better say the Chief Justice in okay. Better say. And I go say I am mommy too.
Yo, Michelle Abugo.
Yeah, Jodo Pa.
Michelle Sherman up here. And my answer, Mansa. Jamie Mayo. On the only 2 days. And there's baby Kastle FM.
Often miss Chairman, I clarify any come or any.
I found on sudden, but it's a break. Elephant, Papa Modo, Naman Frank Mom.
Us if I no do, for him I no do over for.
Mommy, it's about to come. Is she above the law? My question. Maybe so, Kana.
Oh, she's not above the law.
She's not above the law. And as a President Mahamarian, is it in line with Article 146 or not?
That is in line with it.
It's in line with it. It's a same panel. Also, answer ever remove somebody like that. Also, they will be your petition. And petition also area in consultation with the Council of State. So, within a constitutional one specifying a to remove somebody like that. It's whatever that she's doing and he's doing, he's not unsafe, but rather fulfill the Constitution. Also, do you mind me? I am the day. Constitution return day. Me hearing Wabayan, Ewo, camera. So be able to. And one, let me be sent a day, James, and my husband court. Mammy, you're not to camera, so some para. Now, so mammy, I'm my James and Bidnadi Kabul. But on over not a Kabama.
Okay.
Listen. Nobody not a Kabamu, Yana, and I'm also James, a baby defender.
Then so Oboko a panel of committee name.
Exactly. And someone who a James also was like that, but all refuse it over my James upon original. He her party, not Oman Ghana.
All right.
And I can't say me essay. It's Sabato no removing because he's an MPP or MPP tag.
No, I mean, I make a
you said that along the line. Go back.
I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything.
You said something like that. Maybe you said it out of and like say found quite deep conscience making, but he said it.
Okay.
But it was just as little. But anyway,
I don't think I said something like that.
His Excellency George.
I'm great. Last caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Mpacho Mintio.
I'm coming. I'm there. Kenya. At the end of the day, a panel has been set, a committee has been set to look into the matter.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we should also know that suspension is different from sack.
Yeah. She's
on suspension. That's the more reason why somebody has been appointed as acting.
Acting, yes.
The person is acting. Until stabilizing. At the end of the day, until the committee is able to come out with their verdict or whatever, there, Mawaka there, on your neighbor for 2 can using state funds or Mawaka or to them, then they can ascertain a fact. Then they can, based on the fact, to say there, Sisiano, or man, you to me, medium, internal, Yasako. But this year suspension, she can be called back. Internal, one may in Sabi in Abutane, Kumabon Pataka, but to me, Yamazi. If you are no and quite be an onion, but in your chair and I remember on Yakum, on Yabu, some was no being much now.
All right,
I come a canyon.
Bishop Masomedasi. Every time to move for Fubiabio, infancy, Ewaha. Okay. But I, okay. Chairman, Makade.
No, maybe I won't say. I think that there was a comment like that, and then you even brush it off on your army. I think I was saying that I think Judge be a MP, MPP judge. You corrected me there. We don't have any MPP judge. Maybe once in a year.
I will not say that. Mr. Host, can you explain to me how Akufo-Addo don't act as Ghanaian president and he can't do little things, find it some statement, I don't get it. I'm a Canadian. So the resetting of the judicial system is fact because it gives the judiciary the power to examine any infringement of individuals. This include unlawful detention, dismissal, and pronouncement. DJ Simple, I say, Crawford. All right, my brother, better say. And this one here. Eugene Abra, in fact, Mr. Host, Ghana is pregnant with more issues. We need our ancestors to heal healers. Okay. Healers. Tafiakwa, NPP will never come back again. NPP rest in peace. NPP came from Boga and Kafu Fee. All right, Boga, and I see Elho. And yeah, this very last one year, na infancy, na yen sorrow. I say more. All right. Okay. Chairman.
Yeah, Kwamina.
Chairman, just a minute, uncle.
Yeah, make a day at force no there, Yabana. Because I'm there, meeting or committee one, and I'm a part of economic recovery strategy.
Yes.
With the goal of achieving sustainable growth and stability.
It's IMF and then World Bank
meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, can you some swing with the economy no engineer papa. But madam I see the CC my prices and stabilize. Or crowd to mon cost papa or can we send us in the market or that papa. Or Kobodo to Moko. Why the baby of Tete, Antiman Tete. Mamma come as a way. Why the Abobi or Fosra, no one was an asen. Oh, to phone cost. Yes.
Sister, I'm not Ghana price. Why?
Sister, I stabilize. Come now, why? Why, Dean? Antiman and Porit of in there. Now, me and him come now. My bad dummy MCRC. I'm a dended an office. Quickly, we're meeting. Yeah. Freddie Juma
departmental heads in it was a nice ceremony.
Kwamina. I mean, my catcher was studio had there. Anytime be IMC but from the Kweku. Braba Bomi and Juma. And yet, sorry, and yet Juma. Edo is sika. Edo ya home. I Kweku. We'll make sure there. I want the call. Kwamina Bamba Kasembi. Oye yane assembly man or there say if it's an asia here there called Jet Club worker crack Kevin Moon negotiate Kevin Aqua Jet Club or Jet Club. Oh, and also put a okay. And with the toilet TV or inside
Abiasi toilet
the way what to Rogun.
Sanitation issue. No,
exactly.
You ever find time
but the issue is that my catcher ban papa. Since you're a competition based, you're done with time again. Or see, you're very a main juma, papa. Now, Confessor Baba ran the tankers. What I fear.
Chairman, I say, Antimansa. Who say, Honorable Zagoon?
Well, friend, then, prominent. Catch a PRO to a honorable PRO. To honorable one, Justice Sata.
No PRO, you wanna.
Now, a PRO, no, can
I am a friend of another was about Georgie.
Ah, sorry, PRO.
Georgie, the young I enjoy into.
And I tell George, my not studio, ha. No, Kastle Musumika.
Honorable George Justice Sata.
This is Sanya drum. You're not good in Pibo, or you're drumming now one Pibo.
No phone you with you to me, damn, and I am calling him.
I said, the academic best side. Oh, honorable, no phone you. I see, man with there, ni PRO no him ba. Me uncle him ba, moon I tell me chill. Now, you were funny then. Yes, you are no listening. Yeah, that agree. But your light to someone a problem to Ghana.
Okay.
14% on year as a kakaba. It was in 21 days. We bought 2 years. 1 year 6 months. To me tackle a banner on ye.
All right.
We send the new first budget started only just last month. The new first budget cotton best now. No, yeah, another budget now. Only able to me agent do. They are tackling you, but you're restrained. I am a no occasion one condition. I am as a queen or too high my man to one share. No one's a woman. No, I should also walk.
Let us see. All right, Maminda, Chairman Apiasi, and I feel Nana Boamina Mumbo. Antimansa. And our boy easy income. Unrented Engineering Service Limited, High Sense Game Park, Ridge Royal Hotel. Betway and Afi Telecel. One in Jumukua, Ose Nasin, and the MIS Jumazin as bro. My production team, Mr. Bernardo Go, Osman FKK, Blackus Alfred, and Afi Dorinda. Afano call Asoro. Okay. Master Mrs. Kamini Suman, Yami Adumochna, Ebesanisha. Have a wonderful good evening, Yakronina. Bye bye.